Greetings, everyone. Welcome to session 5 of Leadership Summit organized by Chalk and Duster Toastmasters Club. In day 2, we have covered about 2 sessions. So today is day 3, and for day 3, it is second session is starting. For this session, a speaker is going to speak about self-leadership. A speaker, C. Asish, strongly believe in there is no life without leadership. And he has dedicated a better part of his career in developing leaders for tomorrow. Asish has evolved into a leader. He has traversed the leadership road, embracing many challenges. The heart of leadership is people management and thereby conflicts. Asish has vast experience in his area, having handled people related challenges and conflicts across industries. A fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Asish has more than 3 decades of experience in managing finance, people, process, and technology. He has worked in various industries, namely auditing, manufacturing, consulting, and IT. Asish is currently serving as the Chief Operating Officer and Chief Financial Officer of Congruent Infotech. He is a leadership coach too. Ashish's book, Leadership Navigating the Dark Hole, has been just published. So with huge round of applause, let's welcome Chartered Accountant Asish, who is residing in Kolkata. So let's welcome Asish. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Raj. Thank you for that welcome note. So let's dive directly into the subject of self-leadership. Just allow me a moment to share my screen, please. So let's first start by talking about what really is self-leadership. And I'd like to get some perspectives from our distinguished guests present here. What do you think, according to you, is self-leadership? Anybody? Anybody? What is self-leadership to you? You can unmute and share your perspective, please. Nobody?
Managing
Right?
in another word,
Any other perspective?
controlling all the panchendriyas. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So yes, thank you for that. Yes, self-leadership is about leading yourself. You lead yourself to overcome the different obstacles that come your way, the different challenges, the different problems that come your way. Self-leadership is a process of overcoming that. And when you are able to overcome the challenges, the roadblocks, the obstacles which come into way, self-leadership, then you lead yourself towards the path of exponential growth. Self-leadership, in fact, is the foundation. If I have to make an analysis of the corporate scenario, and I have to look at what is that leadership ladder, I'm not talking from a designation perspective, I'm talking in general from a perspective of how a career progresses, then it all starts in this manner, which is leading self. It is in fact the foundation. When we are able to lead ourselves, we gain enough visibility. Because creating visibility in these days is very important. There are so many people who may be doing well, but not everybody gets that opportunity. So you have to be visible. Leading self makes you visible. You create that visibility. And then when you are nurturing higher further skills, you are then in a position to lead teams and finally the organization. So if I have to take my career from here to there, this is the process. In fact, everybody goes through. This is the leadership ladder. And leading self is the starting point and in fact, the foundation. Now, this is something I believe in. This is something I've experienced, which is learn to lead yourself first. The rest is easy. Anybody here can tell me why am I saying this or what it really means? Anybody? What do I mean by this? Learn to lead yourself first. The rest is easy. Let me ask this question in a slightly different way and ask, what to you is that key aspect of leadership? If I am to be a good leader, what are those attributes that I should have? Anybody? Please unmute and share your views, please. What do you think are the attributes of a great leader?
Core
Anybody?
values of Toastmaster: integrity, respect, service, and excellence.
Okay, very good. Anybody else with any perspective?
Good listening.
Very good. Listener is a good listener. That's another perspective. Thank you for that. You know, I strongly believe when we talk of leadership, we talk of a leader is somebody who listens to people, of course, who leads teams, leads people, a group of people, they are leaders. I believe the key thing to leadership is about leading yourself. It is not about leading teams at all. You have to learn to lead yourself. And when you lead yourself, the rest is easy. People will follow you. If you are that leader who shows the way, who walks the talk, people will follow you. So the key aspect really of leadership is self-leadership. In fact, here I'd like to quote Dr. John Maxwell. Everybody knows who is Dr. John Maxwell. And Dr. John Maxwell, in this book, which talks about the 5 levels of leadership, has given an assessment or a survey that was carried out. What are the key characteristics of a great leader? And if I have to show the same I've just made a copy from the book. If you think about these points, where is anything about leading teams? Maybe the 6th point. The first 5 points are about leading yourself, being an example, building your ethics and morale, your knowledge, competency. Those are the key aspects of leadership. And therefore, self-leadership, which in fact covers all these aspects, is in fact the key. So that's why I say leading self is the key. Somebody who can lead himself or herself well will have no difficulty in leading teams. People will follow you. So that's self-leadership. That's the importance of self-leadership, why it is so important today. And it is the key. And I sometimes say that self-leadership is actually another word for leadership. With that, Let me welcome you to my session on self-leadership. I have already been introduced. I am all that which is on the screen. But what it denotes is, I have been through 3 decades of exposure to different problems, challenges, failures, and mistakes. And from that has been born what I am going to tell you today about self-leadership. I believe it's all about taking action. What is important is you have to take action. So the question comes in, okay, self-leadership is important. Self-leadership is the key. How do you become a good self-leader? How do you become that good self-leader and go up the ladder, become that great leader that people will follow? Anybody here? What do you think? How to become a good leader? Please share your perspectives, please. I'd like to hear perspectives because all these meetings are to exchange perspectives. Anybody? How do you become? What are the steps that you need to take to become a great self-leader? Anybody would like to share?
Self-disciplined.
Sorry, can you come again?
Introspection.
Very good. Introspection.
Self-discipline.
Excellent. Very good. Self-discipline. Anything
Continuous
else?
learning. Continuous learning.
Super, super. We have to be learners, student for life. Thank you very
Forget
much.
from past.
Sorry.
Forget the past and try to think new.
Look ahead. That's what you mean, correct?
Yeah.
Taking the feedback. and
Very good. Taking feedbacks. Excellent. Excellent perspective. In fact, that is all what is self-leadership. I have summarized everything as what really gives you that exponential growth or to make you a great leader is CRM. That is what makes us, this is what we need to do to become a good self-leader. Anybody has any guess what is CRM? It's definitely not customer relationship management. Okay, let me explain my CRM. This is my CRM. Let me explain with a very small story. It might sound very trivial to you, but it has a lot of importance for me. I'm talking of the year 1991. My first corporate job. I'm 3 months into my first corporate job. The city is Ahmedabad in India. I walk into office in the morning and I see all my team members are standing. They're not working. And they had very agitated looks on their face. I immediately walked up and asked them, okay, what happened? Any problem? Anything has happened? Immediately they pounced on me. They literally pounced on me. Who told you to change our sitting places without asking us? The context was previous day evening after everybody had left, I had interchanged the sitting places of 2 people out of the 8 people. They said, no, I cannot do it. They have to be told, I have to take their permission. And I was taken aback. And I said, come on, are you joking with me? Get back to work. That even agitated them more. What do you mean? Now you have to apologize to us. In fact, they raised their voice. I also raised my voice. There's a big commotion in the office. And everybody came rushing. Then that branch manager, it was a sales office. I was a sales accountant there. My first corporate job. He also came out and asked, what happened? And I told him, this is what is happening and they're not working. He said, hang on. Then he went and talked to them. By seeing him, they cooled down. They did not open their mouth. And he seemed very comfortable talking to them. He was an old timer like them, and I was new. He spoke to them. He listened to them. And then explained why this change was necessary. And finally, they agreed. And work resumed. I felt very humiliated. I was frustrated. Then I was called into the branch manager's cabin. And he said, Ashish, you have to learn to lead your people. You have to handle such situations. I don't want to get involved in these situations. And if you cannot handle your people, well, I think the message was loud and clear to me. That night, all alone, Ahmedabad was an unfamiliar city to me. I just felt like running away. I couldn't get a simple thing done for my people. That was my very first leadership failure. And that failure, and maybe more failures after that, brought me to the conclusion that being a chartered accountant was not enough. I was missing these three important skills. The first thing was the manner in which I talked to them. I was agitated. I also raised my voice. Whereas I should have been cool. Irrespective of what was right or wrong, I should have listened to them. I should have explained logically as the branch managers tried to do with them. I did not do any of that. I was emotional. I tried to fight. I tried to raise my voice. So what I lacked that day was communication. Then, although nothing stopped me from changing sitting places, but I misunderstood people's emotions and feelings. I did taken their buy-in, understood that there would have been a problem, and then made those sitting changes. I should have taken their buy-in, understood them, and got them to agree beforehand. They're addressing their concerns, understanding where really the problem, giving importance to their feelings, to their views, which I did not do. So in effect, what happened was I did not build the right relationships with them. And thirdly, I was not prepared to face that problem that morning. Whereas in life, you have to always prepare. Things can go wrong. Be prepared to face challenges in a cool and calm manner. Build a mental resilience. I lack maturity as well. So that is CRM for you. Communication, relationship, and maturity. Now that incident would have been a very trivial incident to you. It was important to me because that was my first leadership failure. But if you really think about it now, any challenge, any problem that you face, you need CRM and only CRM. If you really think about it, it is all about CRM. If you want to be a great leader, a great self-leader, you have to be accomplished in CRM. Let me now get into the details of which. Because communication, relationships, and maturity, there are many, many areas and skills to talk about. I would not have the time. But what I have done is I have taken up the key ones against each. That is the key. If we can practice that, we'll master CRM and become great self-leaders. Let's talk about communication first. What is communication according to you? Again, can I hear some perspectives? What is communication? Anybody? What is communication? Is it about understanding each other? What it is? Or speaking clearly? What is the end objective of communication? Anybody?
Interaction.
Interaction between people or a group of people, correct? Thank you for that. Anything else? Any other perspectives? Yes, interaction is fine. I define communication one step beyond. And for that, sorry, please come again.
Building relationship with
Through your
people.
communication, correct? And Varun has raised his hand. Yes, Varun?
To pass on the message from point A or a person A to person B.
Pass on
Effectively.
message. Okay, good. Thank you. Correct.
Sir, here I have a question. Actually, we are talking about the self leadership. Then this communication, the perspective of maybe with inner voice to actually you inside, or it is outside?
It is both. But ultimately, you have to deal with people. Let's talk of external. It is both. You can talk to yourself, but you have to interact with people. So it is more external, I would say. I would say here, communication, and let me explain with a small story again. This happened in our office. I mean, we are an IT company, software development company. 6 years back, we had a requirement for a technical architect who had to talk to the client, understand the requirement, do the design and solution. Now, this person needed to be constantly in touch, engaging, talking to the customer. So we were looking for a person who is good technically as well as can speak. We found somebody who was very good technically. But communication was not that great. With other people whose communication was good, but their technical abilities were less. They had the best technical ability. So we were worried whether to take him or not. We had a lot of debate. We were not getting anybody at the same technical level. So we finally decided, let's go and hire him. But still, we are worried about his communication, whether he can survive with the client. That was an US client. We took him, he said, okay, we'll try to give him some training and see what can be done. 6 years have passed. His communication today may be a shade better than before. Clients just love him. Clients love him. All our project teams want him in the project. He's still very halting in terms of his communication. It is not great. He doesn't speak much. Would you say this person is a good communicator? What do you think? Is he a good communicator? What do you think? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes? And why do you say yes?
He is able to connect to the people he is managing with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He's communicating through his work. So communication is about achieving the desired results in whichever way it could be. Sometimes it's good to be silent and quiet. Your message goes across. It is not necessary that you have to be great in speaking. Communication is our result-oriented actions made more powerful by words. He communicated through his work. It is about influencing, connecting, impacting with the other person, so the other person is willing to listen to you. Otherwise, why do we speak? Why do we write a mail? Because we want to achieve something. When that is achieved, then only we can say that is good communication. That's my definition of communication. Achieving the desired results. When I open my mouth or I write a mail or through my actions, people get influenced and they will listen to me. For example, if I have a team member who is not doing well and I'm trying to give a feedback to that person, the person understands me well, but does not take any corrective action. That means I am not a good communicator. So it is about other person getting influenced by me and taking the necessary action. Just not understanding is enough. And therefore, to me, communication is all about influence. That is the real meaning. If you can influence people, you are a good communicator. And how do you influence people? There are 4 basic parts involved. How you can implement one or the other or all of them or in a particular sequence, which is up to you. But I call that the SCFG influencing factor. What is that SCFG stands for? S stands for strategy. Emotion is E. F is facts. G is goals. In any communication, there are 4 basic parts. It first starts with our own preparation. Whenever we open our mouth or speak or do anything, or we want to use silence as a communication tool, we must have a strategy. Why are we speaking? Why are we communicating? Why are we doing something? What do I want to achieve? With whom am I communicating? Because not every person is the same. Each has a different nature, each has a different style, each has a different temperament. And then how we are going to influence that person? It is our preparation, it is our strategy. So whenever we speak, we must have a very clear strategy of what we want to achieve. There is absolutely no problem in taking time to be prepared before we speak. I always make it a point. Even if I know a subject I'm asked, I said, I'll study this, I'll get back to you. There's no harm in this. But we must have a very clear strategy of 3 W's and H, the famous 3 wives and 1 husband. Everything must have a strategy of what you really want to achieve. And the next is, whatever be the communication with another person, proper respect must be shown to the other person. That day, 1991, I did not show respect to them. Maybe they were wrong, and in fact, they were wrong. But I did not show respect to them. I have to make people feel important, respected in any conversation. You must give the right respect. Maybe that person is wrong, maybe you don't agree, but the proper respect must be given. Make them feel good. And when you make them feel good, make them feel comfortable, then they may open up with their real problems, and then you can solve them. A lot of times when you talk, people are very social. They just nod their head, they say yes, but inside they don't agree. You have to create that environment. And then there's a question of respectful assertiveness. People like those who are very clear in their messaging. Look, this is what I have a conversation. I think this is my perspective. I would like to hear you. Let's talk about this and try to find a way forward. If you're clear and assertive in your communication, people actually feel respected. Same with set expectations before in a conversation. Look, this is what I want to achieve. Now, I could be wrong, or whatever we agree today may not work. We will have to work together on that. Now, there are different scenarios in what you can do. But the whole point is, in this, you must bring in emotions, making the person feel important, respected, and be very clear in your conversation. A lot of times we cannot say no in India. We hesitate. But believe me, if you're very clear and assertive, respectfully, yes, I know how important is your work. Sometimes you're dumped with work. How important it is, when do you want it? I have these pending tasks. If you think this is more important, I'll definitely do it. Or can this wait? Can I get back to you? A lot of times we take a lot of work because we are not able to say no. And then later we cannot deliver. So that is the emotion part. The third part is facts. Facts is about having conversations which has your facts, data, logic. There's no emotion there. Be well prepared with data on any subject you want to talk. Logically talk with facts. Important thing here is listening. Must listen to people. Listen to people and address their concerns. Asking the right questions is also very important. When you do all that, you listen, you ask, you understand the real intent of the real problem or the real concerns of a particular individual on any subject, and then you can address it. A lot of times we are not very clear what exactly is the viewpoint of this other person, because a lot of times where we have to read between the lines, people don't talk clearly. We have to see their facial expressions, how they are talking. Ask the right questions. It's like going to a marriage in India, and then you're asked, how is the bride looking? Obviously, the answer, I cannot say that bride, I don't like the bride. They're expecting that answer that, okay, yeah, it's good, food is good, but I may not have liked it. That's not the right ask. Ask are the right questions to get the right intent and feelings of the other person. And then you address the concerns of the other person. So if you can listen to people, first of all, make them feel comfortable, respected, so they're ready to open up with their real thoughts. Listen to them carefully. Understand their real intent. Okay, what are their feelings, what they want, and try to address their concerns or try to explain to them with facts. I think half the battle is won. I failed on that day. I did not give them the respect. I did not give them the importance. I did not listen and understand the concern like the branch manager did. And so there was no way I could have arrived at the conclusion or the goals. Once people feel respected, understood, their feelings are heard, and you're able to address the concerns, I don't think it is difficult to arrive at a conclusion or influence people. So when you have a problem, when you talk to people, they get influenced when they're respected, you address their concerns, explain to them from their point of view, their benefit with facts, data, logic. It is not difficult to arrive at a conclusion. And the conclusion of any conversation is a collaborative approach. Now, what do I mean by a collaborative approach? A collaborative approach is not a compromise. It's not about my solution or I'm right or you're right. It is finding what is the best for the organization. When I'm listening to them, maybe my strategy was wrong. No, I think I'm wrong. Then you should correct yourself. Hear the point of views of them and then rethink your plan. No, maybe I'm wrong. Try to collaborate with them. Follow up with them. Have joint reviews. So strategy, emotion, facts, and goals are the primary aspect of communication. If you think about different scenarios in what you'll be achieving, look into all the scenarios that you face, your problems and challenges, you'll find there's a lot of implementation here. But this is the heart of it, of how communication is to, especially when we give respect to people, listen to them, understand their real feelings and address them. I think half the battle is won. To me, this is the communication in self-leadership. We lead ourselves so that we can influence others using the SCFG strategy. Some practice scenarios. We get a lot of things. I've taken two simple scenarios, but we face this a lot. We have people joining us from other departments. We have people with a lot of attitude issues. Think about how you'll address this situation. I'm sure all of you would have faced in your career. How to address these situations? That's where, if you really think about it, emotion and facts plays a big role. I've had one who came with huge attitude issues. And I was warned by the other department that, look, this is what it is. There was a restructuring and I had taken something. So I told them when we had an initial meeting, look, we would like to work together. Both of us are equal partners, very important. I have heard you've had attitude issues, but that could be perception. I would like to hear your point of view. Then we can work out how we will work together. I want you to contribute, and I'm sure you can. So I showed respectful assertiveness. I was clear. I said that I'm aware of your attitude issues. Let's work out a plan together from day one. And sit and how we are going to team, the ground rules, how we are going to, what is expected from each other, how I could help. In fact, when you have those initial conversation, it really helps. I had in the company that I work now, this is my 19th year. But when I joined the company, I was not welcome here for various reasons. And but I was very clear when I spoke to them because I learned in the past the mistakes I did. I was very clear, look, you may not like me today, but I'm here. I'd like to hear from you what you expect from me. I'm definitely there to address your concerns. I have my point of view how I want to run. Let's work out a plan. Let's take feedback. So if you're assertive from day one, you're putting your point together in facts and follow up on that. It really helps in emotions. Let's do a fun activity. It's the wife's birthday, and the husband to wife says, okay, what do you want as your birthday gift? And the wife to husband says, what she says, no, honey, I don't want you to spend a lot of money on my present. Just having you for a husband is the only gift I need. I'll drive my old rusty bucket of balls to the market and I'll be back soon. If you read between the lines, what does she want for as a birthday gift? What does the wife want as a bad birthday gift? This is what we face in office day in and day out, even at home. You have to read between the lines to find out what is their real intent. What does she want as a birthday gift? Anybody?
A car.
Absolutely. She wants a new car. But she is not saying as such. And that's how all conversations go, most of it. You have to read between the lines to find out what is their real intent, then what is it. This was an easy one, but in office, it's not that simple. So that was about communication, SEFG. Let's now come to relationship. How do we build relationship with people? There are many. I would point out the most important and the key one today. What is that? Your credibility. And what do I mean by credibility? What's my definition of credibility? My definition of credibility is this. Are you a problem solver? Think about it that way. Relationship is not friendship. When you are building a relationship with somebody means you are helping that person to solve their problems, maybe their career growth, whatever be it. At every stage in our lives, we should be solving problems for ourselves, our team, as well as our organization. No, family. If you're a problem solver with you, there are many others, authenticity, accountability, and all. True, they're all very clear. But the fact is, if I am solving problems for you, you will definitely look up to me. And in fact, if you have good credibility, it is easy to influence somebody. When I joined the company, nobody knew me. Okay, I had come. But then I helped the company to get their first $1 million deal in Maldives. Then people started looking up to me. Oh, there's an Asish there. I solved a big problem for the company. And from that came a lot of repeat orders. Today, it's many $1 million. People, when I have the credibility, I'm helping people. I'm solving problems for people. I'm helping my teammates to grow, solving their organization, helping like I did. They are bound to have good relationship with me. They are bound to get influenced by me. That's the key of it. So I'd like you to think 2 minutes. As of this moment, which problems are you currently solving for yourself, your team, and organization? A lot of times people say, I am a general manager. I am a so-and-so. But I ask them, okay, what are you really solving problems? Because I believe the day you stop solving problems, you become irrelevant. And when you solve problems, you're constantly solving problems. Today, in my role as a CFO in the organization, I'm helping the company to become stronger every day. I'm building on the cash reserves. I'm solving a big problem. I'm trying to make them a company which is solid financially. Think about it. Just take 2 minutes. Keep it on your. Are you solving? A lot of times we lose that clarity. Okay, what more can I do for my teammates? How can I help them to grow? There are a lot of people in the organization who don't like me at all. I'm hated because I'm very critical of them. But at the end of the day, they have a good relationship with me. They listen to me. I can influence them because they know I mean they're good and I'm really help them to build their career. So which problems are you solving for people? And when I talk of organization, remember, family is our first organization. So even for our family, if you are solving problems for people, they are bound to have a good working relationship, workplace relationship, not friendship. And it will be easy for you to influence them. Am I a problem solver? If I solve problems, we will definitely build relationships. That day, I did not communicate well. I did not show respect. I did not listen to them. I did not solve their concerns and problems. I had just been 3 months in the organization. I had not even built a relationship to show. But that is the key. Am I a problem solver? And if I am not a problem solver, I'll become irrelevant. So that's the key of relationship building, how you build relationships. Be a problem solver. And the third M was maturity. My definition of maturity is we have to accept our limitations. Being conscious acceptance is my definition of maturity. And what do I mean by that? If you really think of us as a person, we control very little. We control only ourselves. And a lot of times we ourselves are not within our control. We have emotions, we are human beings, a lot of conflicting thoughts go in our head every day. I read somewhere 60 to 80,000 conflicting thoughts cross our mind. We have very little control. So if you know that you don't control only very little, you'll be better prepared to face that day. That day, I was not controlling the people. I should have been better prepared. My maturity says things can go wrong. Be well prepared at all times because you don't control the world. You only control yourself. Even your teammates are not in your control. But that helps you to be better prepared. My famous statement, you are the problem, you are the solution. There are a lot of problems, but we blame others. Maybe it is true, we are not to be blamed. In the organization, a lot of players are playing politics. The workplace relationships are toxic, could be. But if it is affecting me, we have to find a solution ourselves. Even if I am not the source, we have to find a solution ourselves. And third, may surprise you, I am a person who believes in a mindset of disbelief. What do I mean by that? The disbelief mindset. I expect in my mind, all the time, I have tuned my mind that every moment things can go wrong. Not that I want that, but that's how I tune things can go wrong because only very little is in my control. So that helps me to be always very prepared. Be it I face any situation, any problem, any strategy, I'm always thinking what can go wrong? How should I be better prepared? No, what are the objections that can come in? So maturity is about understanding that you control very little. Don't be confident. Always prepare well. Observe the other person whom you're dealing, be thoroughly prepared and work towards it. You will actually get success. So that was CRM for you. This is a very quick overview. I don't have the time to get into details, but it's a vast subject if you have to get into details. But if you really think about it, it is CRM. Why I give emphasis on CRM? First, we have already seen this. Leadership is all about self-leadership. If you can lead yourself, be that example, Others will follow you. That's the key aspect. And we already discussed, Dr. John Maxwell says, this is the key aspect, and that is what self-leadership helps you to gain. Second point, why self-leadership is so important. It makes you aware. A lot of times we know we have to do something. Yes, I have to do goal setting. I have to do priority management. But how do you do it? How do you do it? Self-leadership, if you think about CRM that told you, if you go into the various components of that, it will also give you a very clear action plan of what you need to do. It gives you very clear. In fact, in my book, I have written details of what you need to do in communication. I just scratched the surface today. But that's the key. And then when you're aware of something, I need to become better in CRM. I need to be better. You're constantly self-learning, you're enriching. The CRM process is a part of that. You must have constantly, you should be self-renting yourself. How can I make my SEFG communication better? How can I build my credibility? How do I build my maturity? There's a lot of material available. Keep enriching yourself. Be a student for life. Second are retrospectives. Very important. Keep always assessing how you're doing against CRM. Am I doing well? What can I improve? There's a process for that. And I'll give you a worksheet or a template which can be shared later, which helps you to observe. Every week, do an assessment, maybe on Sundays of every week. Keep aside 2 hours. How did the last week go? Where did I did well against CRM? What more should I have done? What is my action plan? Because retrospective is nothing but journaling. And also when the memory is fresh, you can do better. CRM is a process which helps you to do that. And of course, take constant feedbacks from people. Take constant feedbacks from people. I will share the retrospective sheet. It is very helpful for me. Every Sunday I do this, where situations I did well, where I can improve, work out an action plan. It is very helpful. And the third important reason for self-leadership is think back in life. Any challenge you face, any situation that you face, you will need CRM and only CRM. That's what you really need. Any situation. So it is universally applicable for every situation, be it in work, be it in family or society and values. Anywhere, talking to your children, you need communication. You need to be solving problems for them. My son is grown up. He's 27 years today. He won't listen to me. I have that maturity. So I have to build my strategy accordingly. Keep constantly working on these aspects. It can bring immense value to the society. If you can practice self-leadership using CRM, you will become a better person. You will influence others. And if everybody is influenced working towards the goal with that mindset, imagine what is going to happen to our society and the values. So practice CRM, learn more about CRM. I am very sure you will benefit a lot. With that, I take your leave. Thank you very much. It was indeed my honor to be making the presentation today. Over to you, Toastmaster Raj.
Thank you so much, Asish, for sharing, especially about CRM and many such beautiful learnings about self-leadership. As we still have 2 minutes, I will open the floor for any question. Anyone, if have any question you wish to ask, he will be definitely more than happy to help you and answer you. Let me check in chat box. Yeah, there is no, you may type your question on chat box too.
Yeah. There was a question initially about whether it is all about communicating with yourself. Believe me, communicating with yourself, that is clearing your mind of strategy, is very difficult. And when you have built more maturity, you have clarity in your thoughts, and you're following this process, in fact, you become a better communicator with yourself. I have seen it, I've experienced it. Today, I'm more clear what I should be doing, what I should be doing, because I'm practicing CRM. And it is a lifelong journey, let me tell you. It's not easy. It might look swimming, hazy. You will never know if the question is about how do you respect your maturity.
I would like to ask related to the energies management in this aspect.
Is there a question about how you build your maturity? Is this the same question? Or that's a different one?
It's a different question.
Okay. I'll first answer the question about how you know you build your maturity. I think the feedbacks will tell you. The best way is to take good feedbacks from people. Take feedbacks, you will know. I have known with time. I have known the change I have been through by feedbacks from people, how I've helped them and how I've bitter. I still lose my temper. I still have emotions at times, but then overall, I'm getting better. I think the only way to know, I have come to know more about myself through feedbacks. It has really, really helped me. I used to get very angry with negative feedbacks. I think that's when you are able to get those feedbacks, taking feedbacks, they will tell you whether you have built it or not. Coming to the question of energy, yes, energy varies. You never know when you not all the time I'm up. But then when you're practicing CRM, it's not a one-time activity. You have to be constantly at it. I personally feel motivated to do that. I know challenges will come. I am matured enough today to understand not all problems I can solve. I have to do this and I'm working towards it. Energy level varies. You cannot have high energy at all the times. But you must be practicing CRM. There are days I feel very bad. That's okay. I don't do anything that day, maybe. It's okay. So it's not necessary that energy has to be always very high, but your interest and motivation to work on CRM is what is important. And if you're working towards it, you're getting good feedbacks. You say, this is good, I'm improving. You yourself feel motivated. I took a session in Bangalore yesterday, day before yesterday. It depends on people coming up on their own and telling me, feel good. My energy went up because I'm helping to solve a problem for them. I think it is more about how people interact. When I get good, something good people tell me genuinely from their heart, my energy goes up. My answer is there. I don't think I have anything super this to do it, but it is not always possible. There are bad days, there are good days. Let's accept it and show that maturity. Is there any other question? That's a very interesting question. How do you develop problem solving skills? I'd like to give you my statistics and overall 90% of decisions taken are wrong. Problem solving, nobody, you think it will work in this, it may work, may not work. That's why collaboration is very important. You hear different point of view, you should take action, learn from it. If it is not working, make course correction. You keep doing that with a period of time, collaborate, get input from people. That's the best way. You will become better at problem solving. But I can tell you, still we make mistakes. There is no clear way that I can solve problems because what does work will not work. But I would say take inputs of people. Take action. Don't procrastinate or sit on that because your decision could be wrong. If it is not working, do course corrections, learn from it. I think if you constantly process of getting input from people, trying to take a decision, making course corrections, you will get better at problem solving. That's my street level answer to the question of problem solving. And I feel most of the times it is not about being right. It is about taking actions and then being able to do course correction, say, yeah, I was wrong, let's correct it. I think that's true problem solving, not being able to get everything on your own.
Great.
If there are other questions I could not do because of time, do let me know, Toastmaster Raj. I'll be happy to answer them through you.
Definitely, Toastmaster Asish. Anyone have any question, you can connect with me on personal chat. I will definitely have those questions and get answered from Toastmaster Asish. So with this, thank you so much, Toastmaster Asish, for speaking and sharing about self-leadership. I'm very sure everyone has got benefited and they are going to take the action on the learnings which they received from your beautiful session.
Thank
I
you very
just would
much.
like,
Action is the key. I hope everybody takes. Yeah. Then only you'll know whether I'm right or wrong.
definitely. And there, everyone, there is Google form I posted in the chat box. You can fill 3 learnings which you got today and which you are going to implement in 2 weeks for yourself. That would be great honor for Toastmaster Ashes that you are implementing those learnings.
Absolutely. I mean, every session is a perspective sharing. I said, I am also here to learn. And these feedbacks help me a lot. And I'm looking forward to your suggestions how I can improve. I'm definitely not perfect. Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Ashish. And there is a small token of appreciation
Thank
for
you.
your
Thank you.
precious time and your precious knowledge sharing, precious experience sharing with everyone. And thank you so much for all those effort which you made for having this event, Leadership Summit, as another successful one with your kind effort. Thank you so much, Toastmaster
Thank
Ashish.
you. And thank you all here. It was indeed a pleasure being with you today. Thank you.
Thank you. Great. So dear everyone, now it's time that we have